Okay.
Yep.
All right, everyone. Good evening. We're gonna start with the commission meeting first, and then roll into the joint. So. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, speaking the first one. Can I get a motion to approve the minutes of the July 21st joint meeting?
Make the motion to approve.
I will second in favor.
Aye.
Aye, 2-0. Can I get a motion to approve the claims?
Make a motion to approve the claims.
Second, in favor.
Aye.
Aye, 2-0. Motion to approve the report of collections.
I will make a motion to approve the report.
I will second, all in favor.
Aye.
Aye. Department heads, we're going to discuss in the joint meeting with that. Motion to approve, this is read to the attic of the library.
She's replacing the one that stepped down.
Yes.
Yes. Yep. I'll make the motion.
Second, on favor.
Aye.
Aye. Motion to approve Michael Cunningham for the APC board.
Make a motion to approve Michael.
Second, all in favor.
Aye.
Aye. Do we have any public comment on that? Who is Michael Cunningham? He lives north of Petersburg. He works at out here by Covington at Flexigate. Yes.
Mhm.
Yes, he lives. He's a Republican. Yes. He will be putting in the 2 slots that are open right now.
How many is that meeting?
It'll be 7.
Says 7.
7, yes. There's still an open spot that I intend to leave open. So, in case a Democrat wants to step forward and put their name in the hat, but that's where we sit right now. So. Any other questions, comments? All right, I get a motion to close the commissioners meeting.
I'll make a motion to close.
Well, second, all in favor.
Aye. And the next meeting will be Tuesday, not Monday. Monday's Labor Day. I don't think anybody wants to come then.
All right, I'm gonna call the meeting to order for the commissioners.
I'll reconvene the meeting for the county council.
Let's start with department heads. Greg, you wanna go first?
Sure. Okay, first of all, I'll let you know that your cleaning of the retention pond is going well. Been a little dry and dusty, but get it landscaped, or I should say there will be landscapes that I'll be able to maintain. Keep it cut. Presented for the entrance. Other than that, I brought with me the pictures that I told you I was gonna bring for the tractor and the mower. And the agreement with the owner of it. It was left over, I found out it was left over from an estate is what it came from. And it's just been, it hasn't been operational. The gentleman that took over the estate to cut all the grass is the one that passed it. And he's trying to sell it, he's selling for the owner, the property that took the property over in the estate sale. So anyway, I drove it, run it. What comes with it is, first of all, brand new filters for at least 2 or 3 oil changes. It's a whole box of filters. And it's got all new tires on the tractor, front and rear. I've got a brand new spare inner tube for the rear tires. I've got 3 new spare inner tubes for the tires on the mower. One of the mower tires does have a leak, they say. They were all there when I was there. I did run it, it runs and drives and cuts and everything is supposed to. So it lifts up and pulls up and pulls down. So anyway, I think it's worth the purchase. It'll help me a lot out there. And I do have the funds available in the account, so. That's the run that.
Maybe eventually you can just get some solid rubber ones on purpose, no, we got them.
That or maybe no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Either one.
So, yeah. I'll just see how it goes. If it can fit, then I'll just.
Yeah, you run it.
So. But it's nice, the tires will be nice because they're not, T4 tires, which won't tear up the terrain. So that's one of the problems we got with any of the tractors we use, if they don't have T4s, then they tear up the terrain, and this thing doesn't like that.
Not too well.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's where I'm at. If everybody's in agreement, I can move forward with that. Mr. Bell, Darrell will move it for me. He agreed to move it for me, so whenever we get all agreement and everything, he'll take his trailer and go over and we'll pick it up and take it out to the landfill.
I get a motion from the commissioners to approve Craig to purchase the equipment.
I'll make a motion to approve the purchase of the tractor and mower.
I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
You don't need to do the motion.
Got the funds, we don't.
You've got the funds, we don't use them.
Okay.
Thanks,
Any
Greg.
other questions? And once again, anybody who wants to come out, I'll take them around, show them what's out there and what we're doing and why we're doing it. Okay,
Thanks, Greg.
thanks, everybody.
Thanks, Craig.
Next, Garth.
So just kind of go through, we talked to the council last week, as you know, I had a medic step down. We have filled that spot now, so I think we got our right now is a 12-hour spot. We gave out one of the papers last week, just kind of explain a couple of line items in the budget. That, you know, I mean, what the here. If I have this in writing. Okay, so, been keeping, obviously looking at what we're spending out on each week. The first, page is obviously our full-time, or overtime for full-time, excuse me. As you can tell, what's going out each week, that's that middle line, middle column there, down the right column. If you take the budgeted amount divided by 26, that's kind of the number you want to kind of keep it at or below. So go above that, we're not, you know, going above 651,000. So you can tell that how much we've spent out if you look at the bottom. And then what would be projecting would be that 400. Over to your right, obviously that's what our average is. Now this does not reflect Friday's pay coming out this coming Friday. That we pay 17. So that kind of gives you a number of where we're at on that. Is there any questions on that? If you turn to the next page, this is what we're paying out in part-time, what we paid out in part-time. This is the individuals that cover people going on vacation, sick, things like that, you know. So this is what we've paid out each pay period. I've worked with Kim and we kind of made sure that all these numbers match with what's in our detailed ledger. So you can see what we've paid out as of the last pay period. We budgeted 90,000. That was before we had made a change to the hourly rate. If you remember, the EMTs were getting paid 18 an hour. We bumped that to 21. Medics were 24. We bumped that to 30 at the end of last year. And so we have utilized more part-time employees, try to keep the overtime down with the full-time. So that's the reason why we've spent that, you know. With that being said, if you look over the far right, what our average is per pay going out, it's around $4,800. Based off of this, off the 10 pays, will be around 48,000 I would need. If you take that minus the 13,813, we need around another 35,000 to get to the end of the year. Well, options I threw out, option one, look at asking if you guys want to do an additional for that. Or if you want to go back and pull portion of that money out of full-time overtime money, since we have saved that money. My recommendation, if you don't want to do it, do the additional, where we could pull 20,000 out of that, move it over. That should get me farther down the road and we can look at it closer. We get down to September, October. And then we're not asking for the additional, see where we're at. I'll leave that up to you guys, what your recommendation is. We know we've got, there's an amount of about a little over 25,000 in there. Excess in that overtime, if you base it off of our projected. Take that 651 divided by 26, that's that $25,038, keep it below it, and which we have, there's one pay period in there, we did not. But if you look at all the other pay periods, we were way below that 25,000. So that gives us that excess amount. That we could move, there's a little bit of play there. So, what's your guys' recommendation? Do we want to just transfer that over for now? The 20 and see where we're at?
That would be my suggestion.
Okay, that's what I'll do. Do you want me, do we want to vote on that tonight, or do we need to make that official on the September 2nd meeting? For the commissioners? I think it's
Transfer, yeah, and transfers have to be advertised,
Not transfers.
no, so.
I just
they-
said just to
Get transferred, yeah.
Okay, but
Just get it.
transfer right now.
Can I get a motion to transfer 20,000? No, you have to do it.
Commissioners.
I make a motion, transfer 20,000 from the overtime pay to. Part-time.
I'll make a motion to transfer.
I'll say, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 2.
okay, kind of status on the renewal.
We'll have to do it.
My apologies.
So can I,
I'll make a motion.
Denise makes the motion to transfer 20,000 from overtime
To part-time.
to part-time,
I'll second.
seconded by Dudley. All in favor, say aye. Aye. 7-0.
Okay, sorry about that.
Nope.
I'm getting ahead of myself. Status on the windmill. Well, after the other day, I got, he sent me, pictures, the chassis is there, the box is back. They're having a hard time right now getting parts. We are next. So fingers crossed, the parts are coming in. So I don't know, I can't tell you timeline, I was hoping August, but. It may be September, October, not sure.
So I have a question, Garth, just because I want your opinion. If the federal government does away with DEF fluid.
Hmm.
How will that affect your current ambulance setups?
I'm not real sure how they'll do that. I don't know if it'll allow us to go in and,
Right now, currently, they're working on making that 30 minutes instead of an immediate if you're low on DEF. They're somehow or another gonna make it so it'll run 30 minutes longer. Before it shuts down.
we had heard, him or the representative told me that, I think it was a sales representative told me that they are looking very hard at emergency vehicles right now. And taking the DEF system out of, where it's not in there.
I think they should. But
But we know that's gotta come from the federal government side, and they have to make that decision. Because there is some big push right now from the emergency services, fire, EMS and them. That it's really hampering us, with cost. Breakdown, all that stuff. So there's some discussion that we may be exempt from that. Now, if that goes through, what does that mean for present equipment or present vehicles? That I can't answer. I would hope that they would allow us to delete it. But I can't answer that question. But it is in legislation, is what I've been told.
that's what I've been reading to in here.
Yeah, so fingers crossed. That they, exempt us from that, because it does. It's challenging, the cost of the DEF fluid you gotta buy, and then, the cost of. Maintenance on. Used to, you could look at a truck, you could get 150,000 miles out of them before you really had to start looking at things. we're finding when we hit the 100,000 mark, the deaf systems start giving us fits.
Mhm. Okay,
And
thank
so
you.
trying to stay on top of that.
Okay.
So kind of where we're at on the remounts. So I know we've briefly talked, I know we're going into budget hearing, I'm gonna try to keep you guys updated. I know we talked a little bit about a possible truck in 2026. The only way we're gonna be able to do that is if we do a pre-built truck. If we do a custom, we would not be able to get it until 2028. So, with the custom build, we can partner with the company that we bought. They took over we bought Hortons this last time. They are now the dealer for Hortons in Indiana. We can partner with them and we can use, a company called Sourcewell that will help us streamline the bidding process and that, where they will take care of all that. We actually utilize Sourcewell here in Fountain County, the highway department utilizes it. And it's a very good program that helps eliminate all the hassles and the money cost in that with the RFPs and that request for proposals. So, and so we're looking at that, you know, I'm still really in the learning the process of this Sourcewell, but it is very, what I'm reading and understanding, I've talked to other organizations, talked with Jason. If you have any questions, Jason can give you some good insight on it, because he utilizes it to buy his heavy equipment. I think it's gonna be a very good way to go, and we're legal, it's all. They basically, what they do is the companies go in and they submit all their pricing into it, and then Sourcewell sets a competitive price. They all have to abide by that, so we don't have that gouging and all that in the bidding process. So we're working on that. I'll keep you guys updated on all that. I can always, if you want, I can always bring the sales representative and explain better to you so you can understand it too, if you like that. But that's the way we're gonna have to go if we're looking at, you know, truck in 2026. Even if you're looking late 26, early 27, you're gonna have to look at a pre-built.
You told us, the cost with the pre-built,
It's about 395 to 400,000.
okay, and what is it for a custom? So we just have comparison.
Probably a little bit over that, probably over 400. About the same, there might be a little difference in price, we're still working on that, I'll have a more concrete price for
And
it.
I think you said if you went with pre-built, you could have it first quarter 26 if you were to order it.
If we move forward and continue to do this program further within the next 30 to 60 days, we could probably do it, if not, we may get pushed out a little farther. So,
Sounds good.
anybody have any questions, comments for me on anything? Anything? Okay, thank
Thanks,
you.
Garth.
Thanks,
Thanks,
Gary.
Gordon.
Jason.
I do have a couple of things. The first one is something I would like some input on from what you guys, I don't know if Tim spoke to you about what's going on 50 South with TNS towing and wanting to pave their section of road out there. Has he mentioned that to you guys?
Briefly, yes, not to KW, but.
Okay. We've had some concerns from some neighbors out there with his about who's going to do the work, who's going to pay for it. We were not planning on doing any of the work out there. It's a half-mile section on 50 South. It runs past the sheriff's department and the EMT building. But it's a half-mile section. He's building a garage up there for his towing company, and he's wanting to pay that. So
How long is that?
it's like a half mile.
So he wants to pay for it, but he wants us to maintain it?
He wants to do all the work. Just us maintaining after he's done.
No cost sharing? You know, we kind of ran into this problem once before. We don't have contracts with the residents for the maintenance
That's
upkeep.
why I'm coming to you guys to
Keep them.
I don't think I. I don't know anything off the top of my head that says you can't do it. The only caution I would give is exactly what you said as well, that we're on the hook for maintaining it, and I have no idea what the dollars and cents are on that, so. That's a political.
So I just,
You don't know who would have to do the work or.
he is actually going to do it himself.
Yeah.
He has a pay, yeah, he has all the equipment to do it. But we're just opening ourselves up for.
We're gonna set a precedent,
Well,
which is what we're going to do.
Yeah, that's why I'm asking tonight.
My only concern is we have a hard time taking care of what we have now.
Exactly.
And it stretches your budget even further. And we always seem to get handed down from the state that we need to cut your budget.
Right.
And I'm not saying that, I mean, if I was in this situation, I'd probably want to do the same thing.
Sure.
We all want a great road. But when you're in a situation where we have difficulties already and we're stretched thin, we really have to think about this, and we have to think about, well, maybe we do a cost share program. But then that sets us up for other things. Any other thoughts from the council?
Yeah, I was at an APC meeting, or it was a commissioner meeting one, when he was sitting there and he said he would pave it and maintain it that night.
So that's on record.
I mean, that they, the neighbors were back behind him. You remember that meeting? Were you
I
here?
was not good.
They were mad, and he said he pave it and take care of it. So if you pave it, if we let him pave it, are the neighbors gonna want? Yeah, I know the neighbors, are they gonna want pavement
For theirs.
for theirs? They will, won't they?
That's what we're running into.
Okay. Okay, so it'd be more than half mile,
Well,
could be.
unless he works out a deal with
Well,
Mr. Newland to
he was,
take it the rest of the way.
he was sitting here saying, he take care of everything, and I sit here and listen to him.
That's where I'm in kind of in a rock and a hard place, so I want some insight from.
I don't like the idea of him paving it and then we maintaining it, because we have no standards for him to pave it. He could do a very, I'm not gonna say well, I don't know him. But he could do a very cheap job and it crumble and fall apart quickly, and then we have to maintain it. That's not okay.
These two are gonna take all the phone calls.
Yeah.
If something happens,
If you want.
and that could also, what happens during snowplow season? If he crowns it, the snowplow's inadvertently going to strip that crown in some places. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah, that's why. It doesn't, so it doesn't have to, always one way or the other, I just want to know.
Right.
How you guys felt, so.
I think
We're
that,
not doing the dirt.
yeah, discussion needs to be had. In my opinion.
What did Tim
Can
think?
we,
What did Tim think?
Tim thinks if he's paying for it,
But he didn't know they aren't gonna maintain.
His trucks are gonna be the one turning that finish, so he's gonna maintain.
is there a way for us to allow him
Yeah, but
Black
it sounds like he won't maintain.
and not maintain and not be responsible for?
If he dumps, he backs the shape. Look, shooting from the hip, there's nothing that prohibits it, it's just that. He doesn't maintain it and somebody rolls their car over in a pothole and dies, and we all get sued, yeah, we're on those.
Yeah.
It's public road, I mean.
Yeah.
I would feel much comfortable if we're doing this, we'll just find a way to abandon the whole road altogether and it's problem. But I don't know how far that stretch goes.
Oh, we can't, no, that goes from 41 to Epperson, it's like 2.5 miles from my stretch. So. Yeah, it's a thoroughfare on, you can't.
So this is the road that takes you to the ambulance department and the sheriff's department.
It's past it.
So we maintain the road
We
anyway.
maintain the road anyway, but it stops, the asphalt stops at a mile of his new business. And it's gravel from there out to Epperson Road. Okay. So.
We won't make a decision, let's have some conversations.
So,
with you and the lawyer.
Thanks, Ethan. So, the next thing is our community crossings project is completed on 800 South and Schoolhouse Road. We're starting to get our invoices and we had a purchase order from NDOT in the amount of $1,373,000, $450, I'm sorry, 62 cents. The invoices that we've accrued so far from Milestone is about to run that out. We haven't asked for our additional on the matching portion of ours, so I don't know if needing to talk to him about that and get that. On
We have to advertise that, don't we?
right.
For the additional,
And I didn't know, I don't have like a solid number, but what we have would be around $370,217. That's with our 150 that we have in there. Already, so,
I can send it to you in the morning.
yeah, that's fine, and like I said, I don't have that maybe plus or minus $2, I'm not sure yet. That would final invoice, how many, they have any overrun, underlying on the project, so.
so we would need to do an additional appropriation for 370 plus or minus.
Yes. Because we already have 150 that was appropriated in our budget for this year.
Do you know when you'll have a final figure? Idea?
This bill that I received Friday, the invoice was 78% complete, so I'm guessing in September I'll have no more, I think I'm on, so I'll know then.
So probably have
So
a September 8th meeting, maybe you'll have something. Okay, so we can't really advertise without a final number.
And that's why I was just bringing it to you guys,
Yeah.
I was still doing it because we have enough in that account with purchase order from state, pay for what we have so far,
Mhm.
and I just want to make sure
Okay,
I'm still good to go.
we'll work out on our side when it needs, when we need to advertise.
All right. One last thing. I don't know how to really begin this conversation, but I'm not for sure what it would take for us to look at getting 2 new employees.
What will they be doing?
There would probably be float positions for right now. The way the summer's gone with the weather and trying to get everything done, we fall behind on our mowing, on our grading. You know, we're trying to get breaks in ready to get that stuff caught up, but we're having a hard time. And we keep 2 extra people busy year round. I mean, we have a maintainer, we haven't been able to get out for the last 2 years.
Mhm.
We have brush tractors. I can't get out because I'll take everybody out of the shop to do our paving and chips. I just wanted to start the conversation, see how
What that looks
what
like?
that looks like, and that'll be more of a conversation for our budget hearing on date, and that's
Okay.
fine.
Yeah, did you put it into the budget?
I did not because I didn't know, and just look at what we've had this summer,
Kind of an afterthought after you got your budget in.
so.
So everybody's aware. When they bring us their budget, it gets submitted, they cannot increase that budget. They can reduce that budget, but they cannot increase it. It's already been sent to the state. So any further increases, we either do an additional or we have to wait. So just so everybody's understanding how that works.
We do have some older guys that are talking about retiring, they're either at the end of this year. First quarter of next year, so.
So that could be a potential
Yeah.
trade there.
Yeah.
Okay,
We still have some, we have part-time, but the people that are putting applications in are looking for something full-time for benefits and insurance. So,
sure. I was even thinking seasonal, through the summer to at least get your mowing caught up and
Ouch, intense.
yeah, college interns or, some resources that way maybe.
So you want 2 over what you have.
correct, yes. Full-time.
Maybe additional people. Okay,
So, yeah, you guys, let's get some.
thank you.
Jason.
Yes,
So I'm not sure I follow it, but did you turn in the budget already?
yes, correct.
You did, okay, so what you're saying is that,
He can't increase it.
got it,
We can't increase it either.
got it.
But if the state comes in and says, you've got to cut it, then we have to go in and find out with him, work with him to find out where we should cut.
if you can, in order to add to.
No. This is, the state can actually come into any department and tell us that we have to cut their budget by XYZ dollars.
Got it.
So,
Got it.
and we work with each of the department heads if that's the case.
You might as well stay up here because we're not gonna like highway garage. Okay,
There was any.
I don't think there's anything else here, right?
Yeah, but question on the paving thing, haven't you already established it? By what we did over across there before there with the new housing addition, haven't you already established a precedent for that? Didn't,
Well, that was before.
did right, well, no, it was just this spring, they took, I sat right here and took a vote for the city to take that over after Ratcliffe paved it all. Housing addition, right across 71.
Did we approve that addition
Drug Lane, yeah.
for Brad?
That was Grub Lane, that was last year. Grub Lane was moved, that was the first. But I believe, and I could be wrong, that was the first or second meeting I was sitting as a commissioner where we took over Grub Lane.
Well, I'm not sure about the timeline, but I do remember that happening.
Yeah.
But on the other side of that coin, Ross had all that engineered and I'm sure it was done to certain extent. I don't even know who did that.
It was done without the
Yeah,
high department.
yeah, I know. And then they come in here and ask for that to be turned over to the city and it was for maintenance and they agreed to do that. So I don't see how that's much different than what you're talking about.
We still maintain that building.
No, I'm talking about the half mile.
Oh.
Yeah.
I think it was the opposite way. I thought Covington surrendered that to the county. I thought Covington surrendered that to the county.
Yes, we did. Grub Lane was covered.
Yes.
And they
They
gave it,
surrendered it to the county.
gave it to the county, back to the county.
Mhm.
And
After the work was done.
then now you're required to maintain what essentially is a disaster. I'll put it on record, what it is. So. I would say that's what we're going to try to prevent.
Mhm.
And I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's how that all went down, so. Any other questions, Bill?
I mean, I don't have a dog in that fight. I'm just,
Yeah.
you know, it's kind of hard to tell one you can
Right.
and the other you can't.
I think with the deal with Grub Lane, if I remember correctly, it was done without Jason's knowledge or input. And then when they were done with it, they said, oh, here you go, you can take care of it now, it's your issue, your problem. Unfortunately, that's where we are. But now, going forward, we can look at those things and work with. I don't know who owns TNS. Tells me.
Samuel.
Yeah, so they can work with him and come up with a solution with the commissioners, so. Okay,
All right, let's move on to the highway department, this DOT agreement. We need to make a motion to, do we need to create the committee? Or just,
Yeah,
Make a
create
motion.
the committee and then get some people in.
okay, so I need a motion to create would you like? You want two people on?
yes, please.
Okay, we're gonna put one commissioner on and Kelly would like to put two. And Jason, so, okay, first off, can I get a motion to create a committee for the, I'll work this, the committee is going to look at the contract or the bids.
The vet.
Vetting the bids and making recommendations to
I said,
us. Can I get a motion for that?
I'll make a motion to create a committee for the bidding,
Okay, I will
bid
second it.
bidding.
I will second that. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 2-0. I'm going to make a motion for Jason to be on said committee. Can I get a motion for that?
I make a motion to appoint Jason.
I second. All in favor of that?
Aye.
Aye. And then one of us.
I'd make a motion to appoint Aaron to the committee. Sorry.
All in favor?
Aye.
So there. All right, Kelly, I'm going to turn it over to you.
I make a motion to appoint Jeff Fischerow to the vetting committee for the highway department building. Can I get a motion?
You made the motion.
Yes, I make a motion. Can I get a second? All in favor, say aye. Aye. 6-0.
We need a fifth person, correct?
Correct.
So I make a motion that Kelly be put on that committee, since she's chairman of the council.
All in favor, say aye. Aye. 6-0.
Who are the members? Is there 4 or 5?
Four.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good.
Myself. Kelly, yeah, okay, got it, perfect. Yeah. Does that get us where we need to be on that?
Yeah, and then what the way this process works is, or at least the timeline that I came up with, is we start running this August 20th. And this is not anybody coming with a quote in hand about what this is gonna look like. This is just us saying, hey, the law allows us to find people who can tell us what this needs to look like, how we're gonna fund it. We're basically requesting bids for consultants. And it doesn't cost us anything, but this committee we just formed, however many bids come in, you gotta look at it and decide which person we're gonna go with. And that should be by our next joint meeting. It's a quick process. And then all the bids or quotes will be in by September 10th, then by the next meeting, September 15th or whenever it is, you can say, hey, this is who we recommend.
Good. Yeah. All right, we'll move on to the appraisals. We're gonna keep those under the table for the moment, Carol. Which was explained to you last Monday, yes. I need a motion to approve the commissioners for, the committee for the sale of the annex building.
I'm making a motion to approve the commissioners for the committee.
I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, 2-0. And I will keep all of you. We'll see if I know something. We will, so.
Because this is gonna sell for over $50,000 before we get the ball rolling, we need minutes of the council approving us to sell that. Maple Corner, whatever.
All those in favor for the Fountain County Commissioners? I know.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Can I get a motion to approve the Fountain County Commissioners to sell the annex building? Jim, can I get a second? Denise, all in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye, 7-0.
Perfect.
Moving on to the Reynolds quote. Carol, that is for the boilers and relief valves. Just telling you, because I know you're interested, and it says it on there, but. I'm replacing pressure relief valves on both boilers and checking for leaks. That's what they're doing. $2,646.88. Can I get a motion to approve?
Make a motion to approve the bid on the quote.
I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can I get a motion for the commissioners to pay the VT Reynolds quote of $2,626.88 for the pressure relief valves on both boilers and check for any leaks that may be present?
Do we have, is there a budget or do we need an additional? If it's
Yeah,
budget,
it's
we'll go ahead
budgeted,
and vote
yeah.
on it.
We have it budgeted.
Yeah, the budget, so.
Yeah, because if we didn't, we'd have to do an addition.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'll let you do your additions.
Additional appropriations for 911 dispatch. Caliber 12,500. Well, wait a minute, did we advertise this?
No, I was just letting them know, so if they approve it, then I can send it to the paper.
Then we'll vote on it.
Yeah, and you'll vote on it, yeah.
Okay, so additional.
For the commissioners to go on.
I think you guys will need to.
The vote is for the commissioners to send it out.
Yeah,
Yeah. Right.
to send it to the council, so then I'll advertise.
Yeah.
A motion to approve these additionals.
Make a motion to approve.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. 2-0. Then the foundation.
Yep, yeah, we're good.
Kim, that down payment was made, right?
Mhm,
Okay.
yeah, you just have to sign it.
Can I have a motion to approve that?
Make a motion to approve that invoice.
I'll second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. That's anything else?
Yeah, on the, on the, on the old B and B, that we're turning into the, health department, that's what the word I was looking for. It's, the encapsulation is all done. I have pictures of it and I looked them over. I'm sending them to you, but I looked it over and did exactly what they were supposed to do. Took them 4 days. And they were done. So our balance that we owed after our down payment was 37,879. That Ken's gonna write a check for us, so. So everything's done. The only thing is, we have to have power down to the crawl space, which we didn't, but there's battery backup. It's working now for the humidifiers and the sump pump, but Jenny was getting that arranged. Okay, so you knew all about that?
Yeah.
Okay, you did, okay, but it's all done and tied up, so. Shouldn't have any moisture problems after that. Huh? And he has had, she has in her mind, Kelly was there, what she wants as far as petitions, how she wants to do the rooms and things like that, so. It's progressing.
Does anybody else have any other questions about the health department building then? With the roof down?
You gotta shoot.
No. I talked to Jason about that, so we're gonna get that worked out. Yeah.
Okay. I spoke with Roger. Okay, and Roger met with Jesse, which is the Petersburg Utilities Department person. And they got together and gonna have to have a lift pump to get it to where it needs to go. So the ball is rolling on that.
Bill,
James, I know you get something in your head and it doesn't come out right. I do it all the time, but I hope we're talking about dehumidifiers.
Yeah.
That's what, okay.
Yeah. Yeah. My bad.
is there any questions from any of you or comments?
I got one thing I want to make into the minutes. A new law passed that says whoever we contract or if we had our own mental health center, they passed a rule that they can't have their employees, no single employee can make more than $400,000. And I got letterhead from Valley Oak saying we're compliant with that rule. So.
It's good to know.
And that's what's.
Look, we think career path here.
You know, the thing I actually love about this is they always count the doctors and everyone else, but no one counts the attorney fees. It's just in that way.
Right. Did you guys?
Yeah, Johnson,
Mhm.
say,
Yeah.
to me,
Mhm.
requesting our presence, so.
Yeah.
There we are with.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
So,
You just wanna tell us who you are?
yeah, my name is Daniel Britton, and, I'm with PHI Medical. Also on a step flight here in Indiana.
Thank you.
Tim's out today, isn't he?
Mhm.
Yes.
This will be Tim's copy, if you
Okay, I'll get it to him.
give it to him, please.
Absolutely.
You, sir. Getting one as well. Whoever else is, Ellen, who have you been that so large, because her name's even. Sneak glasses, right? Yeah, just whoever. Maybe I have to share, I don't know how many read. So.
My name's Joe McDonough, and I'm director of the Peachman.
What'd you say your last name was?
McInich, and then
So what you see before you, just some simple information. I don't know exactly how knowledgeable we are. On the agreements that Fountain County has with PHI carriers. Regarding air medical, air ambulance, people define it as something different every time I talk to them, lifeline, air ambulance, stat flight. It's, I like air ambulance because it's who we are, right? We transport patients by air to the nearest trauma center to treat their health conditions or medical emergency. So what you see is the map, the coverage, the agreement. Okay, that's provided by your county, by you. Through the agreements that we have. So Fountain County. And all the surrounding adjacent counties. Are included in this agreement. So if anyone that resides, any household, any resident of a household. That resides in Fountain County and they travel to any of the other counties. God forbid, medical emergency takes place. They'll be airlifted to the nearest trauma center, which in this case would be probably Indianapolis. So Williamsport is, not a trauma center level, no. So they're gonna go up to Indy, right? So keep in mind, and ground ambulance not near as fast. So seconds matter when it comes to saving lives. So you're doing a very just cause for your residents of the county or in Mountain County. And Warren County has the same agreement with all this stuff by half.
So Lafayette doesn't have a trauma center?
they have a level 3 trauma center.
No.
Basically, that is stabilized and transfer.
Okay.
So they do some trauma services if you, if you have an arm, they can do surgery, so without in focus and doing anything serious. We fly a lot of patients out of, that's where our closest base is there at the airport, Lafayette. And the 2 trauma centers that are there, they are trauma centers, but it's a level 3. So, they're limited on how much, capability they have. When we go to Indianapolis, to take the level 1 trauma center, which that they cover anything wrong with you, they cover, so.
Thank you.
And we also, just to note, we fly, a good percentage of medical patients as well. So a lot of people think that helicopter has, somebody gets a car crash, or somebody falls off the roof and they get home to the trauma center. We do a lot of that, but we also do a lot of, have heart attacks, have stroke. A lot of times those are, Lafayette has those services, but there's a certain population of patients that they can't take care of. The other one is burns. Burns is a very specialized treatment, so, if they go to Williamsport, they go to Lafayette, those patients are being sent. Pediatrics, anytime we have a kid, that is something that is very specialized treatment, so we'll take that to the pediatric trauma center, which is, they don't have that capability in Lafayette, so those are kind of the different types of patients that we will take. We typically go back to Ascension on 86th Street, and the big win there is that encapsulates all of the services that we need, so they take care of adults, pediatrics, farmers, OB patients, anything, and it's all under one roof. So, just kind of the example I like to give is if you have a family that's in a car crash, and there's a kid or there's an adult, or some of the other hospital systems we have to go to, a pediatric hospital and adult hospital across town. So this gives us the opportunity to put them all in the same rooms, and the families can all use together, so that really can pick up too. Thank you.
So the other information provided to you is regarding verified flights. So what do you get in return, right? What do you actually get in return? You send us the check every year. So you're saving a lot of money doing this for the county taxpayers. 2022, you see their numbers as they go down. But this year alone, we're on 30 verified flights. 30 residents of this county has been transported back that flights to a ground center. If you take the agreement away, let's say PHI, with our PHI already. Staff flight is who we are in Indiana, because the partnerships are right on the difference, right? PHIs are there. Let's say we never showed up, I'll never had that reason. 28 households would have astronomical air flight, out-of-pocket expenses, co-pays, deductibles, whatever their medical flight can add up to. If insurance doesn't approve it, it could be astronomical, $80,000, $90,000, times 30, times 36, times 39, times 37. Do the math. Compared to what you pay one time a year for everybody, right? That's a very confident number, I think, that you can agree to, that, the trade-offs pretty well. As far as other benefits that you're getting, or the residents of Fountain County is getting, is, I think Joe sort of touched on this regarding interfacility flight transfers. So let's say anybody sitting here today goes to the doctor, ends up at Williamsport Hospital. Okay. The doctor says, we can't do that surgery here. It's too invasive. We got to get you somewhere else. It's B&D. We're going to transport that patient from the hospital to another hospital, and no cost to them. So not only does it cover medical emergency, it covers interfacility flight transfer, which is hospital to hospital. And that could be the Cleveland Clinic, Mayo Clinic, Vanderbilt. Some of these more prominent hospitals have more higher tech, advances on how the doctors and surgeons can operate on you. So keep that in mind as well. That's part of the benefit agreement. The other benefit is the upgrade is available to the residents. So let's say we travel to Indy for a concert, a ball game, Indy 500, whatever the event's going on. Indianapolis has a lot of events. Just going out to eat, just having fun, right? And something happens in Marion County. That's not part of this, right? Doesn't help you. So the upgrade, which is what you see here. Okay. This is an upgrade that PHI allows your residents to have, and I promote this. Okay. I want to get over to the grocery store and just sit outside, if they'll allow me to, just sit outside the front entrance and just talk to people when they come in and let them know about this. Because anybody that lives in Fountain County needs to be aware of this, whether they want it or not, doesn't matter. They need to be aware of it. Because for $30, the entire household, right, man, our husband, wife, and 2 kids, 4 household, can have an upgrade from coast to coast, California, Texas, Florida, Marion County, go to Chicago, wherever they want to go, they're going to be covered as well. As long as the PHI or medical base is available in that area. Right, so another huge benefit. There is the membership cards, I think you guys have, I think,
We do.
yes. They should, everyone in the county that lives there should have one. A lot of them might not, I don't know who has and who hasn't. But I encourage them to register with us, so we can make sure that they are in the system. As far as what, if something, God forbid, something happens to anyone in their household. So that's sort of the gist of it all. I don't know if you have questions, feel free to ask.
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I have two sons who live in Tippecanoe County, but they are always working and based out of our farm in Fountain County. What can I do to get them on this program?
They live in Tiffin Canal.
They
So
live right across the line.
Yeah.
you look at this map, okay, so. What, first of all, may I ask you a question?
Mhm.
What is their mailing address?
It's West Point, Indiana, which is Tippecanoe County.
Okay, so the agreement's based upon Fountain County residents,
Right,
so they'll have a Fountain County or
Right.
address.
so can they become a member
Yes,
of this?
I would still, they would still be covered on yours through where you live.
Mhm.
If the accident covered or occurred, medical emergency occurred on your property or something like that. But they had, where they had these coast to coast, I call it coast to coast, actually it says it on the back. So the other brochure, it's in your pocket folder. Great question, that leads to this. This is for anyone that lives anywhere in America. I don't care where you live. These are memberships that you're gonna have anywhere you live. So it's not an agreement through the county. This is an independent membership.
Okay.
Okay, and they're $95. If you're senior 60 plus, they're $75. You can see how the upgrade for $30 is a huge benefit. Plus, they've already got the complimentary coverage that the county provides for them. Okay, but yes, your two children have had through this. Do they live at the same address?
No,
Okay, so I need two separate memberships.
Right.
Yeah. And you can go online on the back of the brochure. Yeah, everyone knows what the QR code is. You can scan that or just go to the website address. Again, my name is Daniel Griffin. I'm the senior membership manager of the state of Indiana and Kentucky. So I cover both states, even though we're nationwide. It's easy to enroll, or they could probably even do it themselves. Yeah.
but then you can upgrade the Fountain County membership.
Yes. Not
And that's
encouraged.
through this brochure.
Yes.
Correct, okay.
If you travel any at all. Beyond those counties, it's highly recommended for, even if it's for Thanksgiving holidays, and go visit your grandparents or something, or. You know, like I said, a ball game, a concert, whatever the case may be. You never know when a medical emergency takes place. We see them every day. We hear about them every day. Right, Garth? So, it happens.
So every Fountain County resident should have this card.
Yes,
And they need to register with PHI
Yes.
staff light.
there's a phone number on that they call them, the registry, yeah.
Okay,
I mean. We can't make anybody do anything, right? We know that. We
right,
try to encourage it.
And if you guys ever get, I know you guys get phone calls all the time, if you have somebody that's having trouble, reach out to one of us.
Yes.
We can work, even if they're not registered, we can work through the process with them, it just makes it a lot smoother if somebody expects something to happen, but. That is one thing that we will do, on the back end, just make sure that they're, registered and covered, everything like that, so. Just something real quick, just operationally, we have, so across the state of Indiana, we have 7 aircraft that cover, all the way down to Evansville, down Madison. This area is covered primarily by the 2 aircraft, so we got the one in Lafayette and the one in Greencastle. So anytime that there is an emergency, they will, one of those 2 aircraft will come up here. And sometimes we have 2 patients, a crash with 2 patients involved, and we'll send both aircraft. So, the aircraft that we have, they're very, very reliable, very safe. We are actually putting some upgrades in the aircraft just with the different radio systems so that we can talk to the ground services better, as well as upgrading the marking system in it so that the navigation is a lot safer for that. So that's kind of what we do. We constantly, kind of reinvest and keep our aircraft current and safe. So we really do appreciate the opportunity to work with you guys, and if there's ever events that you guys have going on, if there's something that you guys need help with, we work with Garth's team. If there's ever any training or anything like that, we're always glad to help. If there's ever an event where you want to have the aircraft there to kind of show off the resident, love doing it and stuff, it just makes us a better partner with you guys, so.
You know, there is an event coming up, you were talking about sitting over here at the grocery store. There is an event coming up in Fountain County, and one that I know of is Heritage Days.
Okay.
It's in September. I would suggest somebody set up there because they will have quite a few.
Who's the contact for that?
Let me check
Okay.
and I'll get it for you.
And that's my contact,
Yeah.
or I have my contact
Okay.
information now.
I'll email you and
Yeah.
give you the
Is there a
contact.
test plan aircraft there?
Yeah, I think so.
That'd be awesome. yeah.
Yes, I believe so. Garth, could they land on that's going to be at McDonald. They do ADM, but could they land though at the new parking lot downtown where there isn't anything? You don't think so?
I don't think it's level enough for land, they'd have to go out to ADM. Yeah. Or we land for the Badlands calls.
Could they land at the old elementary school? Playground.
I'd have to look, they might be able to, I think it's big enough, I'd have to look, see what the obstacles are.
I was just trying to think of someplace close to McDonald Park,
Yeah.
since that's kind of where the foot traffic's going to be.
It's not too bad, they could land on football, whole football field too.
They could.
We can scout it out and if Daniel's available to be there and we don't have a reason to talk about the trips and.
And I think the residents need, and I'm saying this because these get recorded,
Yeah,
and so it kind of is giving them information. This service does not cover the red helicopter
correct.
or any other helicopter that is not PHI staff flight, correct?
That's correct, it has to be funded with the HI program.
So there is a
There are
possibility,
partners across America, which there is that.
Now, just for.
right?
One thing I should mention, just for awareness, so the staff flight program, we've got the white and blue helicopters with the Ascension on there. So one thing we do is we cover anytime we have a base that's out of service for maintenance, whether it's a scheduled maintenance or something's broke. We will cover that with a spare aircraft, and those are all black and yellow, so if you see a black and
I've
yellow.
read this.
It'll still say, yeah, it'll still say PHL, and if you see one of those, that is still part of the body, and it's still covered, so.
Yeah, I just wanted the public to know that it doesn't cover any other,
That's, yeah,
Helicopter.
that's a very good point, yeah, we don't, unfortunately, we don't control what they do, so.
right?
Thank you guys so much for having us. Any questions, to anyone?
Yeah, anybody?
The $30 that you pay for the extended, is that yearly?
Yes, yearly, you only get once a year, all these memberships. Whether it be a new, like two sons or an upgrade, it's paid yearly. You go 3 years and 5 years. So if they want to renew it every year, you go 3 years for 3 years from 90, 30 times 3. I'm sorry,
Did they send us a bill?
they will notify you via email. Yeah, they don't send a bill, they don't call them, so it's an aggravated, tell them what they are, oh my God, we're not one of those people, but we do everything very professionally and tactfully. We, if you did it yearly, they'd send you a renewal, give you a little postcard, and they'll say it's time to renew. Stuff like that, I could find out for you or
I
something,
don't know when to renew mine.
let me give you this one. Is that my info?
Is there ever a situation where you cannot come to the scene?
So, if the weather is, the big thing, we have to be able to see where we're going and be able to get high enough to get like the towers and obstacles and stuff like that. So that's kind of the thing that the pilots look out for, especially if there's like storms. They can, so if it's like this time of year where there's pop-up storms, a lot of times they can fly around that stuff. But we always have to keep in mind, not only they have to get here, but they also have to get to the trauma center, so it doesn't do any good if they can't get down to Indianapolis or whatever. And we can also go to Illinois, sometimes we'll go over to Shipping and everything, over to Carl Hospital over there. And there's some places that are just kind of in the middle, and it's a little bit closer, we'll go there sometimes, so.
Has there ever been a situation where you have a lack of employees that would hinder you from coming to the scene?
Unfortunately, we do have, problems with staffing sometimes. There's just a big paramedic shortage across the state of Indiana, so We do everything we do to staff our bases, we'll pay bonuses and whatnot, but typically we'll have a base available to respond. And we track that, how many apply for this, you know, we don't have approval for it. Typically it's a, you know, an issue with maintenance where we don't got the spare there yet or something like that, so.
Explain the crew, who the crew is and what they.
So our crew, we have a crew prepared paramedic, that is, you know, trained in all that for procedures that can give blood, give the medications that are needed, so that's in critical care. We'll have a nurse on board, and then pilots. We require a lot of our pilots, they have to have at least 2,000 hours before they're able to, you know, to fly in a helicopter, so they're not like new pilots that are trying to figure it out. They're very, most of them come from the military, with a lot of experience and know-how, so.
Like flying Apache helicopters, some have that kind of experience, that's.
Yeah, experience.
Mhm.
Each one of our bases have a mechanic, full-time mechanic that's got a training, straight 24/7, so they're, you know, they'll come in and if something's not working quite correctly, they have. The inspections, since they, how many inspections they have to do every 50 hours, every 100 hours, you know, every part has a shelf life on it. They've got to take it apart and check and make sure that it's not showing any wear or anything like that, but it keeps us very safe, so we appreciate that, and I know the crews do too, so.
Sure. Any other questions from the council? From all of you, any other questions or comments?
Okay. Right. Reminder, commissioners meetings the Tuesday after Labor Day. Then yours will be the following Monday like as well.
Yes, it says here, September 8th, it's actually August 25th at 5:30.
Yeah.
Wayne, do you have anything you wanted to say?
Ellie.
Nice. I would offer that Heritage Days, I believe, is in the pocket park down along the riverfront.
Oh, is it?
September
Okay.
19th to 21st, so yeah, I would check out their landing area.
Yep, it's down there. There's showing plenty.
I thought we talked about moving it back to
Yeah.
the old Potawatomi grounds.
So it's down the riverfront, but I'll get you the contact info.
Okay. That'd be great. Hey, Wayne, are you the Angie with the new people that bought? Are you associated with them at all?
Yeah, GNX is a consultant, on projects, so Angie, as you're referencing, purchased Dolphin earlier this year, we did the minutes reflected that as well. And a public announcement happened earlier in August, and yes, I'm just here just in town. We actually are doing geotech right now in the project area.
That's what I was
There's a
asking.
few things going on at this point, yeah. And we appreciate coming in with some of the community.
I need a motion to close.
I'll make the motion to close.
Can I do a little public comment?
Yeah.
I publicly, I've already personally thanked Jason, but I wanna publicly thank him. I called him at 7 o'clock this morning. I went back to the farm, had 2 trees across the road. He had it cleaned up by 10:30 today. You know. And Denise has an excellent idea on the part-time help, summer help, college kids, high school kids, whatever. We used to do that all the time until the county ran out of money and then quit doing it. I mean, they couldn't run machinery, they couldn't, you know, they didn't make as much money, they didn't have benefits, but they were glad to have a job. Hard to find kids once a job, but anyway, you know, it might be something good to start out with and, you know, see how it works. 'Cause that's, like I said, I could do weather, could be it, could be up, could be down. But, my next thing, I wanted to talk a little bit, I've heard Kelly and I've heard Dudley mention Matt Connor's name several times, and so I'm assuming that, you know, since he is our state representative, that's a really good source to go and get the facts and on law and different things that are going on in this county. And so I've heard different things that you guys have said, and I'm thinking they come mostly from Matt when it comes to the issues of Indiana law and all that. And So anyway, I had the opportunity to talk to that, and I stood to talk to him for about 30 minutes. And, you know, some things came up that really piqued my interest, and so I wanted to relay them back to you. And, you know, if you remember when we were talking about the moratorium, and I can remember the exact date, whether that was May 23rd, May 26th, that the old one expired, something like that. Anyway, I was asking him his opinion on how it's possible that after SB 425 was passed, and you were well aware it was passed. It was passed, I told you right here in this meeting. And you went in then after the fact and said, well, okay, we're gonna grandfather ourselves in here. And, you know, we're going back, so now we're gonna do a year and a half, and it's specifically said in there. I brought this up to you. Absolutely nothing more than a year is what you can do.
Bill, I'll stop you right there. The bill was given to the governor to sign. We passed the moratorium before the governor signed the bill on that.
I don't. Just let me finish, please.
You're correct, it wasn't long yet, so.
No, it was not well yet, so. I'm just gonna cut you off because you're spinning a dead.
You say you're, hey, you know, I mean, oh, I'm not done. Right? So I seem to be the only one that gets called up around here. But anyway, I made the comment to him that I didn't see how he could possibly go for a year and a half down to December 31st of 2026. I said, in my opinion, the law took effect July the 1st. 2025. I said, at most, we should be able to go 1 year from there to July 2026. And he stopped me right there in mid-sentence and said, no, that is not right. You have to go from when that thing expired, you go from that point 1 year. So according to Matt Toms, your moratorium will expire on May 23rd, 26th, whatever it is, 2026.
Per the new law. Per the new bill. Anything made after the new bill was signed.
He said to me that no one had ever talked to him about being able to grandfather back.
We did not grandfather back. It was passed before the bill was passed into law.
No, it wasn't. The
Yes.
bill was passed May 21st, April 29th, and signed on May 5th.
It was not signed by the governor when it was, you're wrong. It
You
was
passed the moratorium.
before the governor signed it into law.
Okay, either way. Either way. But anyway. He also went on to say, I asked him about landowner rights. And he had told me, he said, I did not vote for SB 425. He didn't like the bill. Because he said it was about, he had been lied to, misled, whatever the term you want to use for a windmill project in Warren County. Said they didn't do what he said they would do. He's not against solar, he's against windmill for that reason. That's what the man told me. And, you know, he said that the landowner rights carries a lot of weight. And he says, yeah, you can make reasonable local ordinances for things like setbacks for whatever that need to be done, which has already been done in our county. And now, there's a couple of things need to be tweaked. He told me about 2 things needed to be tweaked. We've spent how long now spinning our wheels and getting nothing done. You sit and you take public, not you. I watched the last ABC meeting. There was 3 people on that board there. 3. And there was about 5, 6 people out here in the crowd. Okay, same questions over and over and over. What about setbacks? What about setbacks? You know, what about the roads? Well, shouldn't anybody have to, if you wanna do a thing, and I'll use Jeff, you as an example, okay? Not you, Carver, Mr. Jeff Ewing. Okay? Jim?
Jim?
I'm sorry, Jim. Yeah, my bad. Sorry, Jim, you're good, my apologies. But, you know, I understand a few years ago, you built some home confined buildings, is that correct?
Long.
Yeah, okay, well, I was just saying, this is just an example, that's a hotbed issue too. In today's world. Would you think you needed to go around to all your neighbors and get their permission before you built your buildings, or if you've got the proper paperwork, you know?
Oh, certainly, this is within, I would have to have permits from the county and the state that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying, if you had, would that stop you from building? Just an example, okay, about landowner rights. There's nobody in this room willing to give up their landowner rights. I don't care what you say, what you're against. None of them give up any of your own rights. So. Thank you for your time. I'm done.
Thank you, Bill.
Is there anyone else that would like to speak?
And I get a motion to close.
I'll make the motion to close.
I will second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Can I get a motion to recess? Can I get a second? This needs. Okay, I get a second with Dudley. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
Thanks, everyone.
Yeah.
Have a good evening.
Let's,
I'm this. And then the rest.
Yes.
Sign off.
How's it go?